Now, Afwan, I lost connection. So how will I be him? They also have a role. These people have a role. Yakhbizuna lahu. So the baker will also bake for the farmer. So you can see how we are of use to one another. Yakhbizuna lahu. The farmer will bake for him. وَيُعَلِّمُونَ أَطْفَالَهُ. The teachers يُعَلِّمُونَ أَطْفَالَهُ. They will teach the farmer's daughter or the farmer's children. Okay? وَيُعَالِجُونَ الْمَرِيضَ. The doctors who went to the market to buy food made by the farmer will also treat al-marida, the sick, min usratihi, from the farmer's family. Wahakada, we see, and so on. Wahakada. So we see that we have been created to provide services for one another. Even if you are rich, you will still need the farmer, you need the poor. Okay? And if you are poor, you also need the rich. So you can see this is a perfect example. Then it says, Kana Shabab. Kana Shabab. Back then, the kana means they use something used for the past. Kana Shabab, youths, Filmadi, in the past. Youths in the past, Yata'allamuna, they used to learn. Kana Yata'allamuna, they used to learn. What they used to learn? Mehana Abahim, they used to learn their father's craft. Their father's craft. They used to learn their father's craft. So a carpenter will have son who will learn carpentry back then. So they will have families of carpenter. They will have in their family a generation of carpenters. And as they go, they'll pass down the technology from one generation to the other. That's what they are saying. Okay? Mehana Abahim Filigolib in most times, Filigolib in most cases. Filigolib means in most cases, most times. Hatta Ida Kabiru, until they grow, Amilu fi hadil mihan. When they grow up, they also do the same work. So their father is a fisherman, they will learn fishing and they also become fishermen, great fishermen. Okay, that has been in the past. Walida kana yaglibu. Now, and it says Walida kana yaglibu ala ba'd al-usar irtibat. So that is why you have Walida kana yaglibu ala ba'd al-usar. That is why you have in most families. Okay, in most families back then, al-irtibat, they have a link. Irtibat means link. Al-irtibat, they have a link. بمهنة معينة, they have a link of what? You see, بعد الأسد الارتباط بمهنة معينة, they have that link and they will have just one بمهنة معينة with one single profession. You see them. So يغلب على البعض الأسد الارتباط, they will have that strong link among them. So from, like they say that the Coca-Cola was owned by a company, a family, and they've passed from generation to generation. Same with Toyota. So these are companies founded by their fathers. They bring in their kids, they will learn, and it creates that also the link. About the link. So due to what? Due to that profession they learn. Hatta innahum qad yusammuna, until most of them are called yu'arifun. People who know, people who understand, yu'arifun. People who are known with a particular thing. Okay, Biha. So, so for instance, some families they name some companies after some families. So when the name of that family is synonymous to the company. So when you hear the company, it's about this family as well. So أما في العصر الحاضر, when this present time فقد تغير الأمر. So things are not the same. Things have changed. وأصبحت أغلب المهن, most of the professions, uh, most of the professions, the craft, amal and work, مرتبطة. So most of them are linked بالحكومات, are linked to the government. So people do not really learn all those crafts any longer. So they just go seek government jobs. After school, just seek government job. How with sherikat, or they go to offices like Kabira, big offices. وَيُواجِهُ الشَّابُ, and the shab, which is the youth, faces, what does it face? أول حياته مشكلة الاختيار. So he faces the problem, اختيار المهنة. He faces the problem of choosing a career, a profession. Okay, because all those things are not available. Everybody just works in the government house. So التي يرغب فيها, that he wants to do. So he has that challenge of choosing what he wants to do. التي يرغب فيها, that he wishes. بعد انتهائه من الدراسة, after school. Okay. وهذا قرار صعب. This is a very big problem. Okay. قرار صعب. So it's a very big problem. Something difficult. صعب is difficult. صعب is difficult. So you have something. Then you have قرار is decision. Okay. Making a decision. هذا قرار صعب. So the decision becomes very difficult. هذا قرار صعب. It's a difficult decision, very difficult. يحتاج إلى التفكير. It requires that you think. يحتاج إلى التفكير. It requires that you think carefully, because the guy is confused, so he doesn't know what to do. So he requires a deep thinking. لأن له آثاره المادية والنفسية على الشاب, because it has significant effects. Athar is effect. Okay? It has its own effect. آثاره لأن له آثاره المادية. المادية means physical. المادية physical والنفسية and emotional. Okay? Psychological. So that nafsiyya is a psychological. Physical and psychological. على الشاب, on the youth. في مستقبل حياة, in future. If you choose the wrong profession, it will definitely affect you in future, especially if you are not doing well. You begin to blame everything on your profession. Okay? فكيف يختار كيف يختار الشاب? How does a youth chooses? كيف يختار الشاب? How does a youth chooses مهنته, his profession? How? Then he says ينبغي أن يعرف الشاب. It is essential that the shab, that is the youth, يعرف, knows. Okay? It's essential that he understands. أين يدع قدمه? أين, where? يدع قدمه, where to place his what? His feet. He needs to know where to place his feet. قبل أن يختار لنفسه. 1 minute, please. Now, أين يدع قدمه? You should know where to place his feet. قبل أن يختار لنفسه, before he chooses for himself. مهنة, a profession. يعمل فيها, that he will work in. Okay, it's very important before you make the move. يكسب عيشه, that is where he will what? يكسب, he will earn. عيشه is income. عيشه means livelihood. عيشه, livelihood, meaning from it. And it also says ينبغي, it is imperative, it's important. أن يتعرف, أن يتعرف, to acknowledge, it has to acknowledge. يتعرف means to acknowledge. إلى صفات نفسه, different from يعرف. يتعرف, to acknowledge. إلى صفات نفسه, his own qualities too. You should understand his own qualities, what he can do and what he cannot. You should know that. Okay? If you don't like maths, you can't be an engineer, so don't deceive yourself. So you should know. If you don't like physics or chemistry, you cannot be a doctor. You should know that. Someone who does not like sciences and says he wants to be a doctor, so you should know that. أن يتعرف إلى صفات نفسه وما لديه من نواحي القوة والضعف. He should know his strength and weakness. ما لديه من نواحي القوة, that is the strength, والضعف and the weakness. He should know the two. وأن يتأكد من ميوله, and أن يتأكد, he needs to be sure, he needs to ascertain من ميوله, where his interest lie. Okay, his inclination, muyul is inclination, where is inclined to. I like medicine, I like nursing, I like this. People like stuff, so you should know where his inclination is, muyul. ويعرف, and he should know ما يحب, what he loves, من المهن. So you should know what he likes among professions. So sometimes some people will say they like the doctors, the way they dress when they go to the hospital. You need to be sure that's what you want to do. وما يكره, and what you don't like. Some people don't like some professions, so you should know what you like and what you do not like. وَإِنَّ الصِّدْقَ لِلْإِنسَانِ مَعَ نَفْسِهِ. So the truth is that وَإِنَّ الصِّدْقَ الْإِنسَانِ. صِدْقَ الْإِنسَانِ meaning the truth of the person مَعَ نَفْسِهِ. Simply this means be truthful to yourself. وَإِنَّ الصِّدْقَ الْإِنسَانِ. The truth of someone lies مَعَ نَفْسِهِ, lies within him. So anybody, you can't deceive people and still deceive yourself. So you have to. Now, the truth, you have to be truthful to yourself. Now, يُعِينُ كَثِيرًا. So when you do that, يُعِينُ, it will assist you كثيرًا, a great deal. على اختيار مهنة المستقبل, in choosing a career of the future. وهو مطمئن إلى حسن الاختيار. So he will be rest assured, he will be confident, he will be at peace. إلى حسن الاختيار, to choosing making the right choice, a good choice. حسن الاختيار is a good choice. Making the good choice. You'll be confident. هو مطمئن إلى حسن الاختيار. You'll be confident of making the right choice because he has been sincere with himself. وبعد أن يتعرف الشاب, and when after the youth or someone, a shab, that is a youth, يتعرف, acknowledges إلى نفسه, to himself, وصفاته, and his characteristics, that is his qualities, he knows, he admits it, that this is my weakness, this is my strength. ينبغي عليه, it is also imperative on him أن يتعرف, to acknowledge إلى عدد من المهن, to to uh, to understand the numbers of mihan, that is the عدد من المهن, the numbers of profession available, ليختار منها, so that he can pick from it. More يناسبه, what suits him. Yunasib means what suits. Munasib means what suits him, appropriate. That is munasib, yunasibuhu. Then you have وهذا أمر ليس سهلا. وهذا أمر ليس سهلا. This is not something that is easy. This is not something that is what easy. ليس سهلا, it's not easy. هذا وهذا أمر, this is something ليس سهلا, that is not easy. فربما, it is possible. فربما, it is possible. لا يجد المهنة, that he does not find a profession. التي تكون مناسبة, that it is appropriate. له, for him. ولقدراته, and his capacity. It's possible he does not find anything that it matches what he wants and his capacity. Does not like maths, does not like physics, does not like chemistry. So, and even if you want to study economics, you have to at least like maths. So it could be challenging while he's saying that he and his preparation. So he doesn't have that qualities, doesn't have that capacity, and he cannot prepare for it. وقد يجد الكثير من المهن, and it is possible he has seen a lot of profession مناسبة, that is appropriate لميول ورغباته, that he is inclined to and he has shown interest in. So it's possible he sees and it's possible he does not see. So people have that challenge as well. لكي يصل الشاب إلى قرار سليم, for a youth or for someone to arrive إلى قرار, a decision. قرار means a decision Salim, that is good. Salim is that is healthy and so on. That is good basically. That's what we use Salim for. If you make a good decision, a sound decision, the right decision, Qarar in Salim, a right decision, a good decision, uh, a proper decision, and so on. So, لكي يصل hello لكي يصل الشاب إلى قرار سليم يجب is compulsory أن يكون مرنا. It should be flexible. It should not be too strict and inflexible. Don't listen to advice. You don't. This is what I want. I just want to become a doctor. I want to become a doctor. You are not listening to advice. I want to become an engineer. So you should be flexible, marina. وأن يدرك أنه, and you should also know that أنه يستطيع أن يتقن, and you should also know that he is able to يتقن, to perfect مهنة معينة, that is able to perfect a particular profession أكثر من سواها, more than the others. So if you know you do better in this more than others, or you do best, then go for it. وأن هناك مهنا, and you should also know that there are other professions أخرى, other professions لا يقدر على إتقانها. You should know that all these other ones I cannot be good at it. This is what I think I can be good at. So he needs to know that. And it says يحتاج الشاب, the youth requires إلى التدريب على المهنة. It requires training. So it requires training on the مهنة التي يعتمد أنها تناسبه. The one that he thinks يعتقد, that he thinks أنها مناسبه, عفوا تناسبه, that he thinks is appropriate for him. تناسبه. So يعتقد thinks تناسبه is appropriate. نعم, sorry. نعم تناسبه وإلى اكتساب الخبرة, and also اكتساب الخبرة. He also needs to acquire some experiences فيها in it. Okay, so this is what we sometimes do in university. When you go for CWS and IT, at least have a glimpse of what it will look like by the time before you graduate, so that you can be well prepared. So the experience is necessary. خبرة is experience. حتى يحصل على المهارات الأساسية, so that he will, until he attains. يحصل means attain, على المهارات الأساسية. Maharat means the skills. Maharat al-asasiya, the basic skills, so that you can acquire the basic skills of the profession. 1 minute, please. Hold on. Now, so al-maharat al-asasiya, the basic skills. والمعلومات الخاصة, and basic information. معلومات is information. الخاصة, specific. خاصة means specific. بها, that is specific to the profession you are choosing. بطريقة عملية, it has to be practical. بطريقة عملية. طريقة العملية means it has to be practical, not theoretical alone. 1 minute, please. Now, morning. Now, it says بطريقة عملية, عفوا. Now, وبذلك يعد نفسه. With this, يعد نفسه, he will prepare himself. يعد means prepare, نفسه himself, للمهنة. for the profession. So he has done some background things, like experience, the basic skills to prepare himself. يعد himself to prepare himself للمهنة for the profession. إعدادا كافية, إعدادا preparation كافية that is sufficient. إعدادا كافية that is sufficient. وتكثر المنافسة وتكثر المنافسة أحيانا, and you should also try to compete. Also, تكثر means you should increase المنافسة. وتكثر المنافسة عفوا. تكثر المنافسة means competition increases أحيانا, sometimes أولى بعض المهن, around some profession دون بعض الآخر. So sometimes competition increases some what is it called, some of your chances. So تكثر المنافسة, it is the المنافسة that increases. تكثر أحيانا حول بعض المهن, around some profession دون بعض الآخر. وبعض المهن, as for some لها بريق. So here for some profession لها بريق, it glitters. لها بريق means it glitters. You think they are good. So you see, like we said, you see that I like this profession, I like the way they look, I like this, I like that, I like the police, the way they dress, I like because they carry weapon, I like it. But he's saying that غير أن أجر العاملين, but it's possible that the salary they get, أجر العاملين, أجر العاملين, the salary they get, فيها قليل, is small. So your expectation will not be met. You think, okay, I like the way they look, but when you are paid the first salary, you now know which profession am I in. Okay, so it's now saying that yajibu an yakuna shab. It is yajibu. In fact, it is compulsory an yakuna shab, that the youth knows Allah element bidhalik, should know that yajibu an yakuna shab ala element bidhalik. It is essential. It is fundamental. It is compulsory that he knows that this job is not well paying. It's not well paying. You should know that. حين يختار المهنة, when he's picking his profession. وأن يعرف, and he should know ميزات المهنة. He should know the characteristics, what distinguishes. ميزات means what distinguishes. المهنة الحقيقية, the profession itself, essentially what distinguishes it. والشاب الذي يعرف نفسه حق المعرفة, a youth that knows himself حق المعرفة, knows himself very well. حق المعرفة means very well, the true knowing. حق المعرفة, he knows himself truly. يعرف الأعمال المختلفة, will know different works. أعمال المختلفة, different works. يصبح قادرا, this person will become قادرا, he will have the capacity. على اختيار ما يناسبه, will have the capacity to pick what is appropriate for him. من المهن, this is the plural. Plural of مهنة is مهن. من المهن, from the professions. ويجيء اختياره, and his choice will come قريبا من الصواب. It will be close. It will be close to what? To the right one. Sawab means correct. To be close to what? To the perfect sawab. To be very close. Once you're able to do all this. And it says, وعلى كل شاب, and upon every shab, every youth, أن يدرك أن الصفات الشخصية تنمو. You should know. يدرك means know. أن الصفات الشخصية, personal characteristics. Okay? Personal characteristics, personalities. Tenmu increases or grows. So your sifatu shaksiya means your personality. Okay? Your personality. Tenmu grows. وأنا الشاب قد يتغير في نفسه. So a youth can change. قد يتغير في نفسه, can change. ويتبع ذلك اختلاف رغباته, and it follows the changes. Okay, يتغير في نفسه, it changes in his mind. ويتبع ذلك, and it follows that اختلاف رغباته وميوله. So it changes today, it changes tomorrow. And today this is what he wants to go for, tomorrow this is another thing he wants to go for. نتيجة لخبرة جديدة اكتسبها. And this is usually the case because he must have acquired a new experience. Maybe when he was in JSS1, he was saying, I want to become a doctor, I want to become a doctor. In JSS2, he's saying again, I want to become a doctor. By the time he gets to JSS3, he says, no, I want to become an engineer. This is because of what? لخبرة جديدة اكتسبها. Because of the new experiences he or she has acquired. So this happens. So that's why the personality is developing. Tenimu. That is why I say the Shaksia Tenimu. Okay? So what you know yesterday is different from what you now know today. So you can change your mind. That's why he said, وَيَتْبَعُ ذَلِكَ اختلاف رغباته وميوله. So his interest has changed. So أو ثقافة حصل عليها or ثقافة حصل عليها or a culture حصل عليها or experiences حصل عليها. For instance, someone might say, I will never be a policeman in my life, looking at the Nigerian police or so. But when he goes to America or abroad, to Europe, and he sees the way police are dressed, the way they carry themselves, and he says, no, I like this profession, I can join. It's because of the ثقافة حصل عليها. أو معاشرته أناسا, or living with some people. معاشرته أناسا, living with some people. After some years, he has traveled and he lived with other people and found out, oh, these people are not bad. I like their way of life. لم يعاشرهم من قبل. He has never lived with such people before. ومن الخير ومن الخير among what is good للشاب for a youth is what في أثناء دراسته while studying. في أثناء دراسته while studying is that what أن يهتم كثيرا. He should always give importance to the dars, to his studies. وتحصيل and understanding. So just reading alone does not suffice. Okay? So just reading and not understanding what you do is not the best. Okay? So you read and you also focus on what? Tahsil. You discover. Okay? Tahsil. That is meaning of tahsil. That's what tahsil. You you achieve some progress in reading. Understand what you read and achieve some progress. So قبل أن يصل إلى مرحلة اختيار, before you get into the مرحلة اختيار المهنة, before you get to choosing the career. وأن يدع لنفسه, and before he puts for himself خطة مرنة, a flexible plan. تسمح له وأن تدع, and he says وأن يدع, and that this very person should وأن يدع لنفسه, should put for himself خطة, a plan مرنة, that is flexible plan. تسمح له, that would permit him, تسمح له, that would permit him بالتغيير, for him to change, والتصرف, to also make adjustments. تغيير means make adjustment, والتصرف, to change. So حسب ما يكتسب, in accordance with what he acquires in terms of knowledge, من خبرة, in terms of خبرة, experience, وعلم, and knowledge. But if your plan is too strict, it's not adjustable. Once you start and you are caught up, then you have no choice than to finish what you don't like and end up being who you do not want to be. Okay, so that is the passage. So it's an interesting passage, like I said yesterday. So you should try as much as possible, read it over and over. And there are so many vocabularies here, so many. And make sure you make them part of your vocabulary so that you can use them. So we have a few minutes left, about 8 minutes. So spend the 8 minutes. It won't be enough to answer some of these questions. But spend the minutes in class now. I'm not going to release you yet. So spend the class to go through this. Then I'll ask one or two questions on this before we leave, even if it's 1 minute. So you have about 8 minutes. So I'll give you out of the 8 minutes, you have 5 minutes. So by 8:57, I'm going to call you to answer one or two questions. Now, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
So is there any area you do not understand from the nurse? Is there any part you do not understand? Don't forget by next week. Okay, we won't meet next week, inshallah, because of the Eid. So we'll take a break next week on the 1st and 2nd, then we'll reconvene on the 8th, inshallah. So before then, is there any question? We are going to discuss that in the next class under Isti'ab, like we do. We are going to summarize this as well. So if there's anything you do not understand from the passage, please feel free to ask now. So I guess that will be all. So inshallah, let's stop here and meet again 2 weeks time. So I wish everyone a very blissful Eid and a very beautiful one. Okay. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. جزاكم
وعليكم
الله
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاكم الله خيرا.
وإياكم.
كل الله